Hello, and welcome back to another EBlitz Town Hall / podcast. We are doing this live, and we usually do this live every Friday, either 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. GMT. It does sometimes depend on the guest. And touching on guests, well, before I do touch on our guest, because we do have a special guest for today's episode or our event, we do have some things to clear up and some things to announce for the EBlitz side of things, and I'm joined by the founder of EBlitz, Aaron. How you doing, mate?
Not too bad, Luke. Good to be here.
Good to hear. Yeah, we've got some exciting things we want to quickly announce, don't we? I mean, we're working very hard behind the scenes, and I thought I'd let you take this because I know you guys are and the dev team are working really hard to get this done, and it's going to be very exciting once it does happen. So I'll let you take that.
For sure. I think maybe some people already saw some unfortunate side effect during the course of today. We're making some pretty major upgrade to our server to support this, and that did throw up a couple of issues that we didn't quite foresee. So my sincere apologies. And the big update is, we're going to support more than Fortnite. I think it's been a point of request that's been consistently raised by most people that we come across. And when I spent time playing with people on our app, there's an overwhelming desire and need to be able to play anything. It seems that deciding what to play is part of the fun of the experience after meeting someone on EBlitz. So we've been hard at work over the last few weeks trying to adjust our user journey to support exactly that. You probably saw some hints for that already when we launched the new side menu in the Play tab. And now, that same change will be reflected throughout the journey. So you no longer have to, you can still express the games you wish to play, and the app will now allow you to, decide what you play once and after you have found someone to match with.
Yep.
So yes, it'll be quite exciting.
Yeah, EBlitz is going multi-game, so that is really exciting because, we have been mainly Fortnite, but now obviously we're introducing other games, and that gets me excited as well because I am more of a COD type of player and stuff. So, if you want to play COD with me, jump on the app, and I'll definitely be there to play, and other games as well. So yeah, it's really exciting news, and if you are listening to this either live or on demand, or wherever you do listen to the podcast side of things, then obviously you can download EBlitz on the Google Play Store and the App Store, and look forward to that dropping potentially today on Friday, so we'll see, but definitely over the course of the weekend, so keep your eyes peeled for that. But anyway, let's move this on to one of the reasons that we're here. I'm very glad and happy to announce that we do have a special guest, and it's N7 Kate. How you doing, Kate?
Doing well, thank you. Thank you so much for having me. It's awesome to be here. And obviously I didn't know anything about EBlitz, but it sounds really awesome. So I'm going to stick around and hopefully play with people in this in the Discord, which would be awesome. But no, yeah, I'm doing well, thank you. Not too bad. Very glad it's a Friday.
Yeah, well, I'm glad it's a Friday. I don't know about Aaron. Him and the dev team are working hard to get the multi-game out, so maybe not as much for Aaron. But yeah, we're really glad to have you, and definitely check out EBlitz. I'm sure you'll find some cool people to play with, non-toxic. That's what we're aiming for. So yeah, definitely check it out. But yeah, thanks for taking the time. Really appreciate it. One thing that I like to do when we first get on, I usually ask people what they've been playing the past week and stuff like that, but I did notice on your channel, and links will all be in the description below for Kate's channel and stuff like that, so definitely check it out, that you reviewed or gave your opinions on the Game Awards last week that took place, and I was just wondering what your summary or little thoughts are and takeaways from that.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch it live because it streamed at 12:30 a.m. UK time, which is ridiculous. I always love to live stream it for my community because it's always really fun to sort of react live to it. But I was really pleased with it. I thought this year was really good. I liked that there was such a variety in terms of games that won different awards. So I hate it, when it's a landslide for one particular title, like it's been in previous years. Mm-hmm. So I did like, the fact that there was such a variety. And I was actually really, really pleased with the Game of the Year for me, which is It Takes Two.
Yeah, I love that game too.
Brilliant game. Absolutely. It blew me away. I just was not expecting it to be as good as it was, obviously by Hazelight Studios. So it's really great to see a small development studio get so much reward and recognition. And that was really, really, really awesome. Obviously, the only thing I'm a little bit sad is that there wasn't enough Halo Infinite. I'm playing that at the moment, and I'm in love with that game. Like, oh my God. Like,
you and me both.
The gameplay, I'm hooked. I'm so hooked. And the gameplay is just absolutely incredible. It's so amazing. I'm looking forward. I'm playing the campaign right now, but looking forward to checking out the multiplayer.
I heard the campaign's really good, actually, with Halo.
It's brilliant. It's fabulous. It's really, really good. It's great because, Halo 5 Guardians kind of dropped the ball a little bit in terms of the story. But so far what I've played, I've really enjoyed. But yeah, I enjoyed, the Game Awards. I thought it was really good. There were some good, interesting new reveals. We don't know much about certain titles, but I'm hyped for a new Star Wars Eclipse.
Yes.
That looks interesting.
That did look interesting. I don't know what they're going to do with that, though. I mean, obviously not much information, but show me lightsabers. I'm interested.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same because I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I'm just generally a geek. I love everything. But it's made by the team, I think, that did Detroit Become Human.
Oh, yes.
Heavy Rain. It's behaved.
Is it Quantic Dream? No.
Quantic Dream. I think you're right. Yeah. So that's interesting because I'm like, okay, well, how's that going to play out? So that looked really cool. There was lots of really, really good reveals and things. Can't wait for Horizon Forbidden West. That is one of my most anticipated games next year. It looks beautiful. It was just really, really good. Loved the fact that Metroid Dread got so much recognition. That game is incredible. On the Nintendo Switch. If you haven't played it, I highly recommend it. The gameplay, the minute-to-minute gameplay in that is so good. I thought it was really, really good. I'm actually doing a community game awards as well at the moment on the channel because I always react to what actually officially happens, and then I actually get my community to vote on the same games, the same awards, and the results are very different, which is quite interesting. So
it brings up discussion.
It brings up, which is always what I like to foster on the channel, and everyone likes different types of games, and that's really cool. So yeah, I thought the Game Awards was really good this year. What about you? What did you think of it?
Yeah, we briefly talked about it last week, and I was saying that I like that It Takes Two won as well. I really enjoyed that game, same as you, and I also liked the way out that they did. This kind of style of gameplay is just kind of taking me back to the old days, exactly. Maybe I'm showing my age there, but it was a good time. Yeah, it was a good time. It's good fun. So I like that nostalgia aspect to that. One of the ones that I was really happy with was Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't know if you've played it.
I have. I love it. I actually reviewed it. I got given a review copy of the game.
Oh, nice.
Which was amazing. Like, thank you so much, Square Enix, for that. That was incredible. And I wasn't actually going to pick it up, but they gave me a copy. I'm like, I have to play it now because I've got to review it. And the game was so good. I was kind of worried after Marvel Avengers and just how much they dropped the ball with Crystal Dynamics and obviously games as a service, which I'm not a massive fan of. But Guardians of the Galaxy, that game was so good. Like the story, the characters,
it was done really well.
It even gave the movies a run for my money, in my opinion. I actually enjoyed the characterization more in the game than I did in the movies, which is insane because I love those movies.
Yeah, see, I like Peter Quill in the movies as well, but and overall the movies I enjoyed. But yeah, there's something about this one, I don't know. I seem to like the characters more. Maybe it's just because I had more time with them.
Probably, more character development and that kind of thing. But it's great, And then the gameplay as well for me, because I'm obviously, my name kind of gives it away, but I'm a big Mass Effect fan. So the gameplay itself, pausing the action and being able to give instructions to your companions, that felt very much like my bread and butter with Mass Effect and that kind of thing. So yeah, it's a great game, great story, great experience, and well worth the money.
100%. So, yeah, I think that's our seal of approval for sure. One thing I want to mention, because we're going to jump into some Q&As now, that's why Obviously, Kate is taking the time to join us, and we also, if you're in the audience and you want to ask questions, then we'll open up the floor at the end of the Q&A that we have here, and then you guys obviously can ask away, and Kate can answer if she wants to. So let's jump into the first question that we have, and it was really, what was the first game that really got you into gaming?
Well, yeah.
Difficult question, maybe.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, I've been gaming for a very long time. I think my first console was actually the Commodore 64. I really am showing my age, which my dad got. It took like 10, 15 minutes to load up a game in like a cassette. So, I've been gaming a long time. I had Sega Mega Drive, then I had, PlayStation 2, GameCube, so on. But the first game that really got me passionate for gaming and really sort of made me fall in love with gaming, which you'll probably get from my name, is the Mass Effect series. I'm a huge RPG player. And anything where there's an amazing story, incredible characters, amazing lore and world building, I'm generally there. And Mass Effect was the first game series that I just totally couldn't put down. Like, I just lost myself in that universe. And it was the first game series that I have played through like multiple times.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And 100%ed. So it's an incredible game if you haven't played it, obviously, by BioWare, the heyday of BioWare. But yeah, I just fell in love with it. And it's just, from 1 to 2 and 3, and I'm playing through the Legendary Edition at the moment, and obviously still live streaming it. And I've got my community going, please play Andromeda as well. So
that's a lot of hours.
So I may well be playing Mass Effect until the new one comes out, probably, from the sounds of it. But yeah, it's just a great experience, and the characters are so well written, and they're so three-dimensional, so fleshed out. And then from 2 into 3, the gameplay, with the powers and the combos and things, get really, really fun. So it's probably the first game where I really saw gaming as like an art form, and really started to believe in gaming as an art form, to tell an incredible story. It's a medium like no other, you know what I mean? And that's one of the things that makes me really passionate about gaming, is the experience that everybody has is different, for every game, and talking that through with other people in the community, like the decisions they made and what their favorite characters are and what their favorite moments were. It's so different. So it was the first time when I went, I absolutely friggin' love this. And that's when I first fell in love with gaming.
It's a great one to pick.
I've been in love with gaming ever since, effectively, which is why I started my channel. So yeah.
Well, that kind of leads us in as well to a couple of questions now that we had. I was going to ask, what was the best gaming memory that you had, or a gaming highlight? And I'm assuming maybe it's probably Mass Effect related after that.
It's kind of a little, my best memories tend to be gaming with friends, and anything like where I get to experience it with people. So like, for example, you remember the Halo LAN parties that everyone was having, like back in the day, like at house parties and people on different floors and different rooms. Those are some of my earliest best memories from multiplayer and playing online with friends. I'm quite competitive, if you don't know this about me, so I'm very competitive. So like even just, first person shooters, fighting games. I'm a big anime fan, so I love the Naruto series, and there was this game called on the GameCube, which we had to import from Japan, and we had to get like a bloody English translation written instructions to use it.
That's dedication.
Yeah, but it was so good. So we used to play that and have like, multiplayer house parties, and then probably in the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, because when I played that, I was living in Japan, teaching English out there, and it was the only way I could kind of like, other than Skype and talking to people, it was the main way I stayed in touch with friends. And being able to play the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer together when we're thousands of miles apart was just incredible.
What was the time difference like with that?
Oh God, it was just awful. It was
Pretty
like
rough.
yeah, it was like 8 or 9
wow.
hours time difference, and so Japan's ahead. So like it would be early morning in Japan time and late at night in the UK time.
Oh wow,
So we
that
had
is
to like
tough.
yeah, so we had to like properly organize it. It was on the Xbox 360, you know, days of Xbox Live and everything. And I just remember playing it for hours and hours and hours and just going through and getting to, you know, gold and beating it on gold and then getting freaking platinum and like just surviving waves of banshees and everything. So probably multiplayer, like those are my best experiences of like overcoming something with my friends and experiencing something with my friends. Those tend to be my best.
You definitely brought up some negative flashbacks for me, because I was the same. Used to play multiplayer obviously with friends, LAN parties and stuff like that, and when we played Halo I was so bad at it, like so bad. I was just obviously the guy who they were just farming kills off me. They were like, get him, there he is, all right, we're gonna win now. I was like, oh, this is horrible. I mean, how about you, Aaron? Did you ever get involved in LAN parties and multiplayer parties and stuff like that with friends?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, that's definitely the formative memory for me as well. Again, it probably shows the age. I mean, my first memory of gaming is still the arcade, right? You kind of went there, you played one-on-one on Street Fighter or Tekken, or later on Time Rush. You know, just those two-person experience. That was really what gaming was all about to me. And then the device came about, but it was very hard to reach because of the price point. So you still mostly went to a place where you played it. I think it was most of the game at the beginning was just football games. I don't think it was FIFA back then. It was something else on PlayStation.
PES, Pro Evolution Soccer, or
oh yes, Pro Evolution for sure. I remember
that was a good game.
It was
that to FIFA.
yeah, it was broken English everywhere, and the commentator on record, very heavy accent. But it was hilarious fun. And then of course the PC gaming era came in, and it was all about Counter-Strike and Red Alert for a while. And it's all internet wasn't fast enough back then, so it was all about the internet cafe LAN parties. You sit next to rows of computers and just have a blast. It's
still such a shame that we can't get you to embrace the controller, get you on Halo.
It's all too advanced for me, you know. I was brought up getting used to the pixelated experience.
That is true. It's a shame you're missing out. I mean, like Kate said at the start, it's very good.
Fab. It's so good. But I do play. I mean, I'm playing it on PC, but my hands are too small for a keyboard and mouse. I can never have like the fine control. So I do play on controller.
I honestly don't blame you. When I think about keyboard and mouse, I'm just like, oh, it's too much for me.
Yeah, I mean, my memory of the controller was the old one, right? The old cassettes. So the directions are 4 buttons rather than the joystick. So as soon as and your whole motoring experience built. Okay, if I combine left and down, it's that motion. And when it became a joystick, it just you lose touch.
Threw you off.
Where's down, where's right, where's the finishing point in the middle? It just became all a bit, like learning to run again. So I never kind of got over it.
Just get you and Halo on the opposite team running into a wall constantly.
Oh, yeah. You can have me on any platform on that. I'll perform very consistently.
yeah, not the consistency your team wants, but you will be consistent.
Exactly. At least you know there's a wall, there will be me.
That's very true. Oh, God. So yeah, maybe Bessie avoid Halo then. But no, to be fair, bringing it back to UK, and you mentioned obviously why Mass Effect was probably the reason that you created the channel. But I wanted to know, dive in a little bit more. How come you did decide to take that leap and create your channel and then you thought, well, I'm gonna mainly at the start anyway brand it around Mass Effect? Because I know obviously now you do talk about different topics and stuff, but
I think branding's key. You know, what name do I choose for myself? You know, and what reflects me and the kind of gamer I am, what my favorite games are. So that's where the N7 Cake comes from. I think it was the ending of Mass Effect 3. At the time I was living in Japan and I don't know, I was like just talking to people about it, and these discussions were getting quite like energetic about different opinions and things. And then like I was like just hooked, like watching content on YouTube, you know, on people's thoughts and reviews of it and breaking down that ending, and then all the fan theories, obviously with the, you know, the indoctrination theory and everything else. And I just kind of, I was like, wow, like, you know, I love talking about games. I love sharing my passion for games, and I'm quite a creative person. So I like creating something and putting something out there. And I just was like, you know what, I'm gonna start this off. And there were other YouTubers I watched like quite consistently that kind of inspired me. One of them is called MD83. She's a massive Mass Effect fan, huge BioWare RPG, and I thought that's really awesome. And at the time there weren't many, well, that I'm aware of, there weren't many girl gamers out there, you know, that were kind of going, yeah, I love games, I want to talk about it. And so I thought, you know what, let's have a go at it and see how it goes. I started off with just talking about, I think, a couple of reviews. I think my very first review I did was on Mass Effect, and it was like, I watched it back like last night just to see, and it was so cringy. Like
your first video?
Yeah, it was so cringy. I'm like, oh my god, did I really sound like that? And like it was
that's
just
understandable though. I mean, it's your first time doing it.
I looked a lot younger because I think I started the channel about like 9 years ago. And then like it was just me and a camera and a makeshift microphone, and that's how I started. And then obviously from there it kind of just grew, and I got myself an Elgato and started capturing footage and started doing a few Let's Plays, and those got really good response. I think first I did was the Tomb Raider remake. I remember doing that and reacting to that. And then I started just to branch into gaming news videos. I started covering E3, and it was like the time when the Xbox One was announced. And all the controversy with that, and then, you know, PlayStation 4. So I was like fascinated by sort of the next generation of gaming and obviously where it's going to go. So I started covering that and games I was excited about. And then it just kind of branched from there. And then I did my Story So Far videos with The Witcher. The response to that was amazing. And yeah, so I'm quite a creative person. Like I like putting something out there that I'm genuinely, you know, passionate about and have an interest in, and I like that process of like working out what I want to do and then researching it, writing the script, you know, capturing the footage, recording, editing. I love the editing side of it. I absolutely love it. Like I get super excited. Like as
that's usually the downfall.
Yeah, like I'm constantly like, because obviously I live with my partner, and I'm constantly like, come on, check this out. What do you think? You know, kind of thing. And so I'm still get that buzz, you know, from creating something and putting it out there, and then seeing how people respond to it. But it was the ending of Mass Effect 3 that first kind of inspired me to kind of put myself out there a little bit.
I was going to say you've picked up with the ending of Mass Effect 3, massive controversy. I mean, jeez, man, I was the same as you. I watched all the videos on it and all the theories, and yeah, that was heated. So then when you do the E3 one and pan out, it's the Xbox One reveal.
I know.
Wow, you couldn't have picked two more controversial topics.
I know. It's just mad. Absolutely crazy. But yeah. So I like putting something out there that's useful for people, you know, that they can watch a review and go, you know, if they're on the fence about something and go, oh, that sounds amazing, I'm actually going to pick that up. I wasn't going to get that. Or maybe it's a game they've never heard of before. And so I always want to put content out there that's like helpful or useful, has value, I guess. And that's what I try to do anyway, as much as I can. But
it makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, obviously then, your channel grows and you get more consistent and you're getting more used to it. So then you start as well streaming. And how have you found that? Because obviously streaming is different.
Yeah, I've absolutely loved it. Like, I've only dabbled at streaming before, but I think this year is the first year that I've gone, wow, I love this. And like, it's just brilliant. It's so much fun. Once you get the setup right and you get all your settings right and everything. And obviously I stream through Streamlabs, but I multi-stream on both YouTube and Twitch. So I started doing it on both to try and build a community on both. But I've just loved it. It's that interaction that you get with your community that you can't get in any other way. Reading a comment is different than having a live feed going, as you're playing a game, and being able to experience that game like with people and like have people sort of react to things along with you, or if I'm playing a certain thing and you get to make decisions, like letting the chat like get involved and like, okay, who do you guys think I should pick, or what do you guys think I should do, and so it's been great. Or even like if I've been playing a really hard bit of the game, because I'm playing on insanity, like I'm in Mass Effect, I'm like, I'm doing an insanity run on this, and I'm like, if I keep dying, and the community's got to keep going, like you got it. So it's great. It's been a brilliant experience, and I've been really enjoying it, and I'm definitely going to keep streaming. I want to stream some other content as well and other games I'm playing, for sure. We've picked up some other things. I think we did Ghost of Tsushima Legends, so we started streaming the multiplayer on that, and that was incredible. That was really, really good. And then I think we played some Century Age of Ashes, which is this amazing dragon dogfighting PC free-to-play game. It's incredible. Like, it's amazing. And we streamed that and enjoyed that. So it's been good. Yeah, it's been great to interact with people and start to build that regular kind of same people tuning in, like every week and stuff like that, and building it gradually. So it's been really awesome. I've enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, definitely. It's nice. And it's definitely more interactive, isn't it? Like you said, like people can actually feel more connected to you, I'd say, because you're going through this, you're like living this moment together, and they're like, oh, you should do it this way or do it that way, and then you can have like a little chat about it. Yeah,
there's good things, definitely, but you do sometimes get the backseat game.
I can imagine.
You're doing it the wrong way. You should do this. I'm doing it my way, like kind of thing. But generally speaking, like my community is really positive. Like it's such a positive community, and even in the streaming, like it's the same. So that's been really, really awesome, and I've been really enjoying it. Yeah, it's been great.
It sounds good.
Yeah. I'm always fascinated by these kind of stories. Streaming was such in a relative sense, such a new thing. And people jump into and start building communities in a medium that is just so new. I mean, how did your community start? Where did it start? Did you start on Twitch and it just start building up bits by bits from there? Or there's some catalyst for you that, clearly you have a very meaningful crowd now. How was that journey?
I started on YouTube obviously first, and dabbled at the odd live stream on YouTube, but Twitch has such better streaming, and as a platform, and then kind of just went from there, and then brought some of that community across from YouTube then into Twitch, but I think it was just about kind of, I wanted to get closer to my community, like exactly like you said, and build that up. And I think it was about consistency and trying to stream like regularly, and on like particular days, and announcing obviously through Twitch, through Twitter and things like what I'm going to be streaming. I try to as well, like get them involved in it as well. So I have like a community page on my YouTube. So sometimes I go, right, okay, these are the possible games I might stream this week. You guys vote on them. And then I would often pick the game that was scored the most votes kind of thing, just to try and like have that sort of sense of like them having some kind of impact on the content and having a say and that kind of thing, and taking suggestions from the chat and just kind of building it up from there, but it definitely helped having that YouTube platform, to be able to build up my Twitch follower base quicker than probably would normally have happened, I would think. But I've really enjoyed it. Yeah, it's been so good, and I'm wanting to try and like incorporate more multiplayer streaming and actually play with the community more as well. Like I'm wanting to do that and like be able to experience that live, like on a stream. I think we had that happen once in Ghost of Tsushima Legends, where like someone in the chat, I think there were 2 people in the chat, and they were like, "Can I play with you?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, that's fine." Like send me a friend request and I'll invite you in. And they got to do that live on chat, so that was really awesome. So yeah, like just building that community. And I do know that a lot of people that have kind of met on the chat now are like play together, and so it's a great positive community for then other people to meet other people within the chat and stuff, and which has been great.
Yeah, it definitely opens doors. I mean, that's one thing as well that EBlitz is trying to do, provide a community within the app where people can jump on and find like reliable players who, like you said, are positive and you can actually have good experiences with. So I feel like, we got the same sort of thought process there. And one question I did have about your community as well was, what's the key values that you think you share with them?
I think, there's a couple of things about my community that I'm obviously quite proud of. One is it's an incredibly friendly, supportive community. There is no place for hate in my channel, nor in my streaming. I'm very, very adamant about that, like we're here to sort of help each other, support each other, share our love of gaming, respect each other's differences, even if it's difference of opinions. My community is it's cool actually, because it's quite international is my community. And it's one of the things I really love and promote and encourage. I have people in my community, in my chat, that are from all over, all over the world. I mean, the largest base probably is North America and, Europe. Mm-hmm. But even in Europe's a very broad area. So I've got people from Brazil, and I've got people from like Dubai, and people from all over. So it's been, I love that, that international side of things. So I think it's more just friendly, supportive community of, finding like-minded people that have similar interests. And the thing is, because I cover such a wide, maybe the bread and butter of my channel is like RPGs, and so probably the largest community on my channel is probably huge RPG lovers and fans, but I also try and cover other content too. So I have an Xbox One and a Nintendo Switch and a PlayStation 5 and a PC. So I try and cover... Oh,
you're quite varied then, to be
varied
fair.
Yeah. I try and cover like a broad range. I love first person shooters. I can't play horror games, but I can appreciate them. and I have played a few and I have enjoyed them.
I wouldn't recommend VR then for the horror.
No, I don't think VR is for me, especially now. I mean, I'm very curious about the new Resident Evil 4 VR, but I don't think I could play it. Like, I think once for Halloween I played Alien Isolation, which was an incredible game.
That is a good game.
I got like a couple of hours in, and I was like, we played it in the dark too. So I'm like, okay, I have time out. I have to stop, because just the adrenaline. But
the atmosphere in that game, to be fair, that does get you on like you said, the adrenaline's going. You're so highly strung, I guess, because you're just waiting for something. Yeah, that's a really good game actually.
But so I love platforming games. I've been playing Forza Horizon 5, which I've been really enjoying. Obviously Halo Infinite, I'm playing all sorts of things. I want to cover more indie titles, I think, on the channel. I'd like to do that more. And I've played quite a few this year, which have been incredible, which I'm probably going to put in like an end of year review, the best sort of games I've played this year. But so I try and keep it nice and broad. So there's something there for everyone. You know what I mean? And people can tune in and check out the content, that they're interested in. And I know it's, certain things aren't going to be for everyone, and that's totally fine. I'm mostly making content because I'm interested in that, and that's what I want to put out there, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. I try not to follow. I could follow trends. I mean, if I follow trends, all I would do is make nothing but story so far videos and lore videos, and I am good at them, don't get me wrong, and I do love making them, but that's not the only content I want to make, you know?
It's good to mix it up. I get that. So I do try and do that, but it's very, there's some huge like Resident Evil fans on there, there's some massive Soulsborne fans on there too,
So they're very hyped for me to play the new Elden Ring, which I'm going to check out next year in February, which looks amazing. I think it's February, is it, that it's coming out?
I'm not sure. I probably should pay more attention to that game because it's the first time I've ever seen my name used. So that's definitely one that I've got to pay more attention to.
It looks really, really good. I've never beaten it. I've played Sekiro and I really enjoyed it, but I've never beaten a Souls game. So I would like to play and finish Elden Ring for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, I play a good variety of games,
Well, that actually leads us nicely into the next question we had, because we've mentioned a few games, and the next question was, I know you're saying how you're playing more broadly and stuff now, but obviously you started off with the Mass Effect and then 7K, obviously, that was your name. And the question was, if you could choose another game to dedicate your channel to instead of Mass Effect, what would that game have been? Which is a pretty tough one.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, the other series I absolutely fell in love with was the Witcher series. I've obviously done a lot of content on it with the Story So Far videos. So it'd have to be something that there's so much richness to it, in terms of the lore. Like, for example, the new Horizon series. I am fascinated by that world. And I'm going to do a Story So Far video on Horizon, Zero Dawn. But I'm actually considering doing like some kind of lore series on the history of it, the different races, the different machines, things like that. I do enjoy that kind of stuff because I come from a history background. That's what I studied at university. So I love that whole history and lore and delving into things. That's why I love, those kind of games with a rich history and a rich story. I guess that's where that comes from.
That game does lure you in, though, doesn't it? To be fair, when you play the first one and you're obviously exploring and you're trying to learn, like, well, how did this world even happen? And when you're finding out the stories and the lore to it, it's probably one of the most recent games. I know it's not recent, but most recent games where I found myself fully invested in trying to find out the lore, and to discover it, and I think that's because it's so well done, and I did love that game, so I totally get that.
So it probably would be something along those lines, but I think sometimes just dedicating yourself to only one game can be dangerous, because I know channels that have done nothing but dedicate themselves to like Mass Effect Andromeda, when that came out, and obviously that didn't get received in the best sense, even though I think it was overly a little bit harsh.
I agree with that. Yeah.
So those channels had a huge following, and then obviously did really well, and then suddenly it wasn't received great, and then their channel just kind of died a death because they didn't, and then they had to kind of reimagine themselves, sort of thing. So I tend to try and like keep what I want to cover, but I'm very interested in lore, and I would love. Thing is, I work full time, so this isn't my job. So like the amount of time it takes to like do a lore video, like my Mass Effect class guides, like I did not sleep like very much for like a couple of weeks, while I was making them, and often these videos, they take a lot of work, a lot of hard work, a lot of research, and one video can take you a couple of weeks, to make.
I was gonna say that is good going, because I did a podcast for couple of years that I did one video a week, just a podcast, and I edited it and worked full time, and I even remember then just like, it does take a lot of time. So for you to be that consistent, like that is tough.
That's why I always want to pick things I'm really passionate about, because it isn't my job, you know what I mean, and so at least if it's something I'm passionate about, then I'm more going to put the work into it and kind of
actually enjoy it.
Yeah, and actually enjoy it and stuff. But it's about getting that balance as well. Because, of course, you get days where you're like, I don't want to be in front of a camera tonight or whatever. And I just want to play a game and, or watch a movie or something like that. So, yeah, it's about getting that balance, like anything in life, I suppose. Balance is key.
Balance is key. And again, it's a lovely transition into the next question. What is your favourite thing about YouTubing/streaming?
I think the community. I think seeing people's reactions to the content that I'm making, and I think it's reading people's thoughts on things, like like especially if you're putting so much hard work into something and you're spending weeks on it, and even just like one or two comments, just people going, oh, this was really useful. I want to play Witcher 3, but I don't want to go back and play The Witcher 1 and 2 because, to be fair, those games are very, very dated now. But thanks to your videos, I'm ready to jump into 3, and I completely get the lore, the characters, the story, and I can experience and enjoy that game, it to a full extent, kind of thing. Or even people that watch my Mass Effect class guide videos and were like, oh man, I've never played Sentinel before, it sounds amazing. I'm going to check it out and have a go at it, and then they'll come back and let me know how it's going. So I think it's that interaction, with the community, and it's cool when you put something out there to then, and that's it. There's that nervousness of putting it out there and going, oh God, how's this going to go? Kind of thing. And is anyone going to watch this? Is anyone going to react? Is there interest there? And you always have those questions. So yeah, when you do get that community response, and it's just really awesome, and like I say, I always want to do something where I'm making something that someone somewhere will find helpful or useful or interesting or get a discussion going or whatever.
Yeah, and it makes it worthwhile, doesn't it, when obviously you have your community there to chat with you about it. And is there anyone in the community that sticks out that you're grateful of meeting that you might not have met as a result?
There's a few, I guess. Like I don't want to name specific names, but there are definitely, there are definitely people in my community that have been there since day one, and are incredible, and I've got people that never fail to turn up for a stream, or to comment on every video and things like that, and they know like who they are, and that I'm like really, that I'm really, really grateful to them, and it's just like this, and it's awesome. Sometimes I'll have people that like I haven't heard from, because life is life, and life gets in the way, and people get busy, and some people just watch a video, they don't necessarily want to comment, and they just want to watch something and hit that like button, which is totally cool. But you'll get some people that I haven't heard from in a year, and they'll just pop up and leave a comment and be like, oh, hey, how's it going? It's like a long lost friend, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I definitely have people, like that have been around, from the start, and it's really incredible. And people from all over the place, I've got, and other people that have started streaming themselves, and doing things and sort of asking for advice or I'll pop up in their stream and say, hey, how's it going? And you can tell it means a lot to them, kind of thing, and stuff like that. And so yeah, it's been really great, and yeah, getting to know like people all over the place. I've got there's a couple in America and one particular person in Finland, I think it is. So yeah, I mean it's great.
It really does open the door, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
You just get to interact with people that you probably obviously would never have interacted because you just didn't have that opportunity. But
that's right, yeah. Different backgrounds, different language, different life experience, and but that distance just feels small, because obviously you're on a platform, online. So yeah, it's just been really, really cool.
And one question I'm curious about as well, Kate. So, how do you observe your community starting to form bonds and interact with each other just on their own?
Yeah, absolutely. You notice it. Like they start to sort of, I see it more in live streams, when people come in and they're like, hey, and then they start, chatting between themselves and stuff like that, and similar interests and things. And then I've had a couple of people on my community that are trying themselves, because especially during the lockdown, a lot of people started to stream online, or produce content on YouTube or whatever, because they wanted to have that interaction, with other people, and particularly when they were so isolated, in lockdown and whatever. And I've seen, my community then supporting someone else in that community that's starting out for the first time. And, I'll go over and check out your content and follow you or subscribe. And it's just really awesome, and that's what I'm most proud about by my community. It's very, very positive. And one of the things I always get feedback at the end of every stream is like, I had so much fun, like just being here, hanging out with people, for an hour or 2 hours, a couple of hours. And because when you're playing a game, I can't always respond to everything, but that chat is going, and everyone's just chatting to each other and interacting and stuff. And yeah, it's really awesome. So yeah, I definitely have noticed that those friendships and those bonds forming in the community, which is really great. It's amazing to see.
Nice. And perhaps just pushing that question one step slightly further in terms of, are there other ideas or events or anything, that's been bubbling in your mind that you haven't come around to that you feel could be really fun to do with your community?
Yeah, like I'm wanting to do more events, more interactions, like even something like this is amazing, like to be able to do like a live Q&A on Discord. I want to use Discord a lot more with my community. I don't think I use it enough nearly to have that interaction and organize, gaming events and things like that. I'd even love to do charity events, just anything positive, which would be really, really, really cool. I'm trying to involve the community a lot more. So like I'm doing like that community game awards kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And I do giveaways quite a lot as well with my community, just as like a massive thank you. So every time I hit like a particular milestone, I'll do like a giveaway of like a game of their choice kind of thing. And just sharing that love of games, because not everybody can, people come from different backgrounds and not everyone can afford to pick up a game every month. So some people, they might play the same game for half a year or several months because they can't afford to. So it's about that kind of like, okay, well, let's try and share that love of gaming and stuff like that. And even like when the competitions and someone wins, like everyone else is like super supportive, like, oh my God, that's amazing. You got a copy of this. That's great. Have fun, enjoy it, stuff like that.
Nice. Yeah. So, and how does it work, your community game award?
So the game awards at the moment, what I basically did is I kind of took the nominees, from the Game Awards, and I've got a community page on my YouTube channel where I can put like a poll on there and get people to vote. So I'd put like, best action adventure of 2021 and then 5 potential games on there. And then the community basically votes for which games they personally would choose. And then what I'm going to basically do then is reveal the results, which I usually give them. I think I gave them like 3 or 4 weeks to vote, and I'm going to be working that hopefully over the weekend, to get that up and obviously let them know. So it's just that case of like people have different tastes, on which game is the most popular. And stuff like that. But yeah, trying to do that a lot more. I've done that a lot more consciously in the last like 12 months of really trying to interact more with the community and getting them involved in things, and stuff like that, And I think from that, Mass Effect has been a great boost this year as well, for that community feel, and getting that back, which has been cool.
Awesome.
Yeah. It definitely is good, and obviously, like you said, with Mass Effect coming back with the Legendary Edition, I bet that was kind of nice to jump back in, bit of nostalgia as well.
Very much so.
Is there, because obviously you mentioned in your community that people started, maybe creating their own content, and obviously the lockdowns might have played a part because people just wanted to express themselves and probably just connect with people, given that we were all stuck inside for so long. But yeah. If there's anyone listening who is still on the fence and thinking about it, or maybe they've just started out, is there any tips that you'd give to aspiring streamers or YouTubers?
Yeah. I mean, I did have to think about a few things because you mentioned this possible. I think the biggest thing is to just be yourself, be genuine, be yourself, your enthusiasm will come through, if you're passionate about something. have an idea, what type of content you want to cover, that you want to create. Try not to. A lot of people like want to just rush out content because they want to any content out there and get people's reactions. But I think sometimes it's better to not rush out your content. Take your time with it. Create something that you're really proud of, and that you enjoy creating. Definitely take the time to interact with your community. That's key, and that also gives you that feedback, that you need to keep you going, to motivate you and to give you that boost. There will be challenges like any social media platform. You are going to get hate. There are going to be those comments. There are going to be those trolls. That does happen, but don't let it get you down. Focus on the positives on your community. Focus on what you've put out there. Be proud, and just focus on that and just persevere. Keep at it, and you will grow. Try and upload regularly, but don't kill yourself. You know what I mean?
Burnout's a real thing, isn't it?
Burnout is a big problem, and I think a lot of people have done that. In the last kind of 12 months, they've tried to start it almost as a business from scratch, which is so hard. So don't burn yourself out. Your health is really important, and look after yourself. Find that balance between still enjoying what you're making and not making it a job, and doing all the hobbies and things that you love. Find that balance, and that will feed into your videos. That will feed into the energy, in your videos. And that for me took a long time to get that balance. You know what I mean? And I feel like there were moments where I did burn out, but I very much went, okay, guys, I'm taking a week break, or I'm taking 2 weeks break, just to recharge my batteries. And my community's always been super supportive of that. If I've needed to do that, or there've been a family emergency or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think definitely pacing yourself is really key, and having a brand. Thinking about your name, who you are. I have a catchphrase I use at the end of each video, which is "Happy Gaming," kind of thing. So just something, a little hook, something that people remember, and stuff like that. Those are just, I guess, a few suggestions. But just be yourself, and have a go at it.
I think that's good advice, to be fair. I think, like you mentioned and touched on burnout as well, one key thing that it's kind of unseen, isn't it? It's like the unseen one that people might not know that happens quite a bit. So if you're starting out, definitely be aware. And as you've mentioned before, Kate, balance is key. I mean, you're obviously proof of that, and how you keep your channel so consistent. So that's some great advice, definitely, for any aspiring streamers out there, or YouTubers. But that's all the questions we had. So we're going to throw any questions that there might be in the audience. We're going to invite Sir of Sir up to the speaking. Is Mike. How you doing, Mike? I know you're a little bit under the weather, but soldiering on.
I know. I thought you guys might miss my voice, so popped in just to stay high.
Thank you.
It's a lot deeper.
That's just me pretending to be cool, We have a few questions. There's a couple of things that I wanted to say first. I know Kate was talking about potentially doing something for charity. And I know at the moment Macmillan Cancer Support are running a Game Heroes session, so might be something to look into. They've got a lot of resources on there to streaming and stuff. So yeah,
great stuff. Yeah.
And one thing that I wanted to mention as well, you mentioned The Witcher a lot, and as a big fan of both the game and the series, I'm going to be watching season 2 was released.
Yeah,
so, that's what I was going to ask. Is that what we're binging this weekend?
Oh yes, most definitely. At the moment we're watching the League of Legends anime one.
Yeah, Arcane.
We're watching that at the moment and really enjoying it, but as soon as that's finished, it's straight on to The Witcher 2, season 2. And I'm very excited because I've read the books. I've read everything and played all the games and everything, but I'm a big fan. And season 2 looks absolutely incredible, and I'm very, very excited, especially to go to Cameron and Steve Vesemir, and yeah, it's going to be amazing.
Likewise.
So
Is there anything you're watching at the moment, Luke, or are you interested in The Witcher?
Well, I was actually going to ask you both because I really loved The Witcher 3, but I didn't play the first two. So, as Kate did with her channel, I actually watched some just lore to get an idea of the story behind Witcher. But then when it came out on Netflix, I don't know why, I like Henry Cavill as well, and I just thought, I'll wait. And I've just always waited, and I've not actually watched it. So, is it worth it?
It is worth watching.
Yeah, definitely.
It's really good. It's very much like the books, because the original Witcher books are very like separate stories almost.
Right. Okay.
So the way that the season 1 is told is it is like separate storylines, because you have like Geralt and then Yennefer, and which, God, the what they did with Yennefer was incredible. And then obviously Ciri, and they're all separate, like separate threads, but then they kind of all come. Oh, it's so good. They all come together. It's brilliant. You just have to watch it. I can't praise it enough. It's
Definitely.
really good.
And you've done the right thing, because you have 2 seasons of it to watch.
I know. You didn't have to wait. Look at you.
I do
Very
like
good.
my binge watching. I binged 5 episodes of Hawkeye last night. So
I haven't seen that yet. That's another thing on my list. I'm looking forward to it.
I actually thought I wouldn't like it, only because I always thought Hawkeye was okay. He just is.
Careful what you say next.
I know, but I watched it, and I must admit I'm actually enjoying it. I think it's pretty good. So yeah, if you got time, I'd recommend that.
Awesome.
Yep, and we have one question from Dante too. I think this one's mainly pointed at Aaron. So if Dante buys a new PC to play Halo, Aaron, Dante wants to know, can you be his team's decoy?
Oh, I'll be the best decoy there is. For sure, man.
I'm sure they can find you to play with on the EBlitz app, of course.
Of course. I think we're Halo Infinite is definitely on our game list. So.
Oh, that's awesome. Fantastic. Oh, I definitely will get involved in that then, because I'm definitely wanting to jump into the multiplayer. But it's like you say, it's so hard to find like positive like people to play with.
Yeah, totally.
So that's where this, Blitz is just incredible, because there is so much toxicity out there, and that can sometimes put you off,
Yeah.
But yeah, that's cool. Definitely.
And to be honest, I mean, it's so unfortunate, and yet I think that's what drives our belief as well. When I play with people on an app, similar to Luke, I'm more of a COD player, just because it's simpler, and when I start a chat with people, they almost always sound surprised that they can actually have a normal conversation, and I'm of course very, very pleased and thrilled to be able to do that with them. For them, but when you flip that same coin on the other side, pretty sad. What the average feels like. That's what we set out to change. One session at a time.
It's very
100%.
cool, very admirable, absolutely.
And honestly, Halo Infinite's multiplayer, okay, me and you are kind of on the opposite. I haven't played the campaign yet. I've heard it's great, but I've played a lot of the multiplayer, and I do like it.
Oh, well, you can be my squad leader then, can't you? Because you're experienced.
Experienced, but not great. So I don't know about that. I'll help.
Play it's awesome. That sounds good. I'll take any teammate, because by myself I will die very quickly, probably.
I don't know. Most of Luke's Fortnite wins came after he started playing on EBlitz. So.
That's actually true as well. That's not even a lie or spin. That's legit truth. I got carried a lot, and I appreciate it. So thank you.
You're welcome. We have one last minute question too from Monkey King. What's everyone doing for Christmas? I know, Kate, you have a lot of series to catch up on, it sounds like. So is it just going to be food and series?
Yeah, probably. I've got actually next week off work, which is awesome. So I've got the whole week off, which is very rare. So probably, I've some series I'm going to be watching. There's some games I'm really wanting to finish, because at the end of the year I do a top 10 games list. And so I want to get Halo Infinite finished. I really do. And I'm playing Deathloop, because obviously I've heard great things about that too. So I want to get that finished as well. And then obviously just spending Christmas with family. There'll be too much food, probably. Too much chocolate.
That's the best way. That's the best Christmas.
And a lot of Baileys, probably. But I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, it's been a really tough, busy year and everything. So I'm very much looking forward to the Christmas holidays and just chilling and enjoying myself.
A well-deserved break. Yep.
Yeah, totally.
What about you, Aaron? Are you working all the way through?
We have a pretty busy feature pipeline that Luke is also aware of, and we're trying to deliver to our users continuously. As you guys see, we do a release every week. Easy to say, but the amount of work that goes on behind the scene is mad. But that said, it's all happy work because every week we see different level of interactions in our community and our app, which makes it all worthwhile.
Exactly. So you can enjoy Christmas Day.
Exactly. Hopefully, I didn't get to have it last year, but hopefully I'm happy this year.
Yeah.
And Kate, by the way, at the risk of putting you on the spot, if you do participate in the Macmillan Game Hero run, let us know.
Yeah, I will do, totally. Yeah,
because definitely jump in with you. And
cancer is very close to my heart. It was
likewise.
One of my family members was diagnosed with cancer a few years ago. Thankfully, he's clean and he's good and recovered. But it is something that's very close to my heart. So I would love to do a charity stream for that. So thank you for the suggestion. I will definitely look that up, and I will let you guys know if I am going to do it and what I'm going to play.
We'll definitely sponsor you if you do it.
Thank you.
And maybe we can, maybe I can be of help as well. If you try different games, you can always get someone to jump in.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. I'd love to do that. Yeah,
make a marathon run a bit more fun.
Yeah,
more
that would be good. Other than just me. Yeah.
And Kate, Kate, this is recorded, so you can clip that end bit up of the sponsor and just send it back to Aaron.
It's been committed. Oh my god.
Thank you.
No, definitely not. We can add to the contribution part, and as I said, the topic is very, very close to my heart as well.
Fab. I'll definitely look into that and let you know. That's awesome. Thank you.
That sounds great. But yeah, that's a good place to end it. We thank you very much, Kate, for joining us and taking time out of your day to answer some questions and have a good chat. We really appreciate it. And
thanks for having me. I enjoyed it. It's good fun.
Yeah, it was really good. And all Kate's links will be in the description below wherever you're listening to this, and we'll be sharing it on our socials as well. So definitely check out her channel because there is some great content there, and I'm sure you'll really enjoy it. And obviously check out her community as well, because similar to EBlitz, positivity is key. So definitely go and check that out. And speaking of EBlitz, if you didn't hear at the start of the show, we will be releasing an update hopefully today, being Friday, but if you're listening into the future, it should be out already on the weekend, which will be EBlitz opening up to multiplayer games, or multi-games, sorry. So you can find teammates for all your favourite online multiplayer games that you want to play. And it's a really big one, and we're really excited about it, and it's going to be available for download on Play Store and App Store, so definitely check that out. Also, the podcast/town hall event is live every Friday, 2 p.m. GMT. Sometimes it might be 3 p.m. like it was today, depending on obviously the guests and what they can make work. And we will also have a guest on next week's show as well, so look for that to drop on our socials. But anyway, guys, thanks for all joining me, Aaron, Sir Mike, and obviously N7 Kate Gate. Really appreciate it. And wherever you listen to this, we hope you have a good day, and we'll be back next week to talk some more gaming. Bye, guys.
Thanks a lot. See ya.
Thanks. Bye.
Hi, guys.